Hello everyone, and welcome to our highlight show, Day 6. I'm your host, Nazi Paikidze, and I'm here with two amazing grandmasters, Yasser Seirawan and Peter Svidler.
It's been our pleasure, Nazi.
What a great day it was. Let's take a look at our final standings today after round 6. We have now 4 people on the top. That's Fabiano Caruana, Alireza Firouzja, Maxima Shilograf, and Pragnananda with 3.5 points. Then 3 players are only half a point behind: Livon Aronian, Wesley So, and Bogdan Daniel Deak.
It's really close in the standings, but we had 2 early draws, I want to say, and Maxime and Nodre, MVL, not feeling very well. He chose a line where they could repeat easily.
Right, he got surprised in the opening, decided to take a quick draw and recover from his illness. And then we had another draw between Wesley and Livon. It was not in the opening, but out of the opening, Wesley didn't manage to get any advantage and took the first draw that he saw.
And in the case of Livon, had some very good preparation with the black pieces to force that early draw. And Peter, you had another
third game to finish. Third game to finish was this game between young Krzysztof Duda on the white side against Prague. This was a sharp English opening in which, in this position, I believe 94 would have been critical. It wasn't played, but Rook C1 is not criminal yet. But after Bishop E6, the decision to play B4 immediately landed young Krzysztof in some trouble because Prague reacted very forcefully. Knight B3, Rook C2, CB4, A4, and A5, using the fact that the white pieces are slightly stuck and the king is still in the center. B takes A, Rook takes A5, castles, and Rook A1. And here young Krzysztof took a very good and correct practical decision to part with the queen instead of playing passive positions after something like Knight C3, B1. And this turned out to be a holdable position, which he actually did hold very comfortably. Let's take a look at the end of the game.
We have a result.
And this is a draw, yeah.
I'm guessing this was a draw between Duda and Prague.
Yeah, they found a repetition.
Easy game for Prague.
Yeah, a bit of an escape for young Krzysztof today.
And B4 is one of those moves Duda will be asking himself, what was going on in my head? Nazi, we have a world champion who is struggling, and he struggled today as well.
Yeah, that was the only decisive round of today, and Firouzja managed to trick Gukesh at the very end in a drawish endgame. So, take a look.
Back to Fabi, I guess. This is not going to go anywhere for a while.
Exactly. And
what? Hang on. What?
What?
He's
Bishop G5.
It's a blunder. It's losing.
What? How is that losing?
Why would you remove it from the long diagonal?
You're gonna end up in
Sir, what are you doing, sir?
No.
Rook B7?
Curse, Peter says. Nothing's gonna happen here. Let's move on.
Yeah, Rook B7, F6, Rook F7.
Zugzwang.
Resign.
It's losing immediately.
Peter, sum up this
this has been a ride and a half. Alireza, I think, outplayed Gukesh out of a very sharp opening. I think he was the more precise of the two. Got a position which I think is fairly can be described as winning, and then started misplaying it to such a degree that by move 39 it was completely equal. Then came the mistake by Gukesh on move 39, leading him to a very difficult, maybe objectively lost position. And then Alireza returned the favor on move 42, liquidating into a position which I think is quite comfortably holding. And Gukesh was holding it very comfortably until somewhat inexplicably not making the most obvious sort of clear draw. He's had the entire game and will now lose.
And Gukesh resigns. Wow.
Painful loss for Gukesh for sure.
This now is in clear lust.
Yes, this will be a storyline for the world champion. And Peter, Fabiano.
Yeah, that was also a fantastic game to watch. The final game to finish. Fabiano went for a very risky, very double-edged line from the opening. The line that Christian, who knew what was coming, actually confirmed doesn't equalize with white, which is not often something you can say about a position after 5 moves. And then it became very double-edged. Then he perhaps overpressed, was worse for a short period of time. Then they got to a very sharp endgame in which neither of them had any time. Fabi was briefly winning towards the very end of the first time control. And after the first time control, it feels like neither of them made a single mistake. Actually, a very, very well-played game overall, which ended with Fabi coming agonizingly short, but not beating the local player. No, he's gone bishop d6.
Bishop d6.
Yeah, we need to take a look at this.
That was the last move I would have considered. Bishop d6.
Yeah, and this is not good at all.
No.
This is, I mean, it's not horrible, but it actually gives White a very decent position.
And by the way, again, I just have to tip my hat to Bogdan.
Extremely hard bot game.
Well, he walked into some seriously strange preparation. He got behind a whole hour against a well-prepared opponent like Fabiano, who has been the second highest rated player in the world for ages now. He slipped a little bit.
Fabi looks very disappointed.
So Wildcard is doing great. A hard-fought game by Bogdan and Fabi ends up in a draw.
That was an eventful round for sure.
It certainly was.
Let's take a look at our schedule. What's to come next? There's 3 more rounds left. Tomorrow players are returning for round 7. And it's looking more and more likely that after round 9 we're going to have playoffs.
Ooh, we'll have to check our playoff format. But I tell you, we have some really, really great games coming up tomorrow. I'm looking forward to them. Thank you for watching.
And see you tomorrow.
And see you tomorrow.
See you.